JR ആരെങ്കിലും എടുത്ത് നോക്കണം. വാട്സ്ആപ്പ് ചാറ്റ് പേര് യൂട്യൂബ്.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hey, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to League Egos India Valorant Invitational. My name is Grizzly, and I'm going to be walking you guys through all the games through this tournament. We're on match day 2, folks, and in case you weren't here for match day 1, I would really encourage you to go ahead and check it out. It is in the video that we did yesterday, the stream that we did yesterday. We had 4 teams yesterday fighting it out, and we got 2 teams that have qualified through it, and we have our next set of matches lined up and ready. As you guys can see on your screens, we got both the teams ready to kick off, and we're going to get started momentarily. But just before that, I want to talk to you about the organization League Ego. We are a brand new esports organization, and we conduct tournaments both in the US and in India. We're doing Valorant tournaments right now, but in the future we're surely going to be doing more titles. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on our Instagram, and join our Discord server if you haven't already done, where we are trying to grow a community and connect with like-minded gamers like ourselves. A quick run through about the tournament format. This is an 8-team knockout, folks. The prize pool is going to be 35,000 rupees, and all the rounds are going to be played out as best of 3s, and the finals are going to be on Saturday, which is going to be a best of 5, and it's going to be lit. So make sure you guys are there for that. We got 20,000 bucks for the first place winner. We got 5,000 bucks for the second place winner, and 10,000 rupees for second place. My apologies, and 5,000 for third place. So without further ado, we will get straight into the game, folks. We've got Agent Select any second now. So stick around, don't go anywhere, and we'll have live action very, very soon.
It's all about humanity.
Alright, it is time for that Agent Select, and the first map, folks, is Ascent. This is going to be a best of 3, so just to remind you guys, Ascent is our first map. We're going to move on to Split after this, and the third map for today is going to be Icebox for this particular matchup. A quick look at the Agent Selects. We have, of course, Team SL eSports that's going to be defending first, and we got Team TFF who's going to be on the attacker side on Ascent. Interesting picks so far. We got DX, who looks like he's got his heart set on the Sova. We got Danesh, who's going to be going on the Jet. Soul Draggers considering the Omen. Miracle here picking up the Killjoy, a very, very useful pick in Ascent in my opinion. And Zach looks like he's going to be on the race. So overall, 2 duelists. They got 1 Sentinel, 1 Controller, and 1 Initiator. A really, really well balanced lineup. And over on the other side for Team TFF, almost identical lineups except the Phoenix coming in for the raise. We got Artgun on Killjoy, we got Alike on Sova, we got Wind on the Jet, RG is going to be on the Phoenix, and Minato looks like he's going to be on the Omen. So looks like we're all set, folks. This match is about to get going. I'm super excited to see how the teams fare. Big shout out, folks, really quickly to yesterday's winners. We had Team Lethal eSports coming out on top in the first match yesterday, and of course Team Beyond Infinity was the other team that was the winners. And these teams have qualified for the semi-finals, which are scheduled for Friday, which is going to be held tomorrow, and that's going to be fun as well. Of course, they've got 2 other slots still open in the semi-finals, and those slots are going to be decided by the winners of today's games. So we got some big matches lined up for you guys, for sure. Let's really quickly, we looked at the Agent Select. We're going to quickly take a look at how the teams are going to be lining up. So on the side of the defenders, and that is the SL eSports, we got Dhanesh on the Jet, who is going to be aggressively picking out at B main and possibly trying to get a first kill. He's got Sova for backup, and almost immediately there's going to be an encounter between both the Jets. It's going to be Wind versus Dhanesh. Not much damage done, as Dhanesh is going to fall back as he anticipated more players walking into B main. That is exactly what happened. The spike holder here, it is Sova here. He's got the spike as well, walking into B main. Elsewhere, it looks like Omen has been picked off on A side. Interestingly, so
Blocking sight.
maybe briefly consider a rotation, but no, Team TFF is going to stick with the B main push, and actually it's going to be just Jet who has walked in without a spike, so this is most certainly looking like a fake.
Spike down
Elsewhere,
mid.
the rest of Team TFF have actually made their way onto A side, and they have walked into a side that is pretty much empty. They do have to deal with Miracle, who is playing Heaven, but most importantly, the spike holder is going to walk in. It's Minato who's on the Omen, is going to go ahead and get that plant down. Elsewhere, a lot of picks falling here for Team SL Esports. They're down to just 2 players. It's the Zach who's on the raise, has got to figure his way out coming through this mid without getting into a tangle with the Jet who is trying to lurk. And of course, now the team members have consolidated at A Heaven. How do you retake a 2v4 position with just pistols and one of your players is so low on HP? But these guys are going to have a go at it nonetheless.
Last player standing.
And that was a tough call always. Team TFF doing well here to hold their ground, has picked up the first pistol round. How crucial is the pistol round? We have seen it so many times. Even in this particular tournament, folks, the pistol round, especially after the first half, can be such a game changer. Just really changing the momentum of a game, swinging it towards a different team. And we'll see if that continues to be the case today. But for now, it's Team TFF, the attackers, who have picked up the first round. And the scoreline reads 1-0. Starting things off here is going to be the Sova drone. I think it is Alike who is on the Sova for TFF, walking in to A site, and Zacha will get the first pick outside B once again. So interestingly, the lurk on the B side isn't working out for Team TFF, but that doesn't matter because it looks like they've taken firm control of A side, and once again the spike has gone down. I think Team SL Esports have definitely come in with a half buys or maybe even a full eco, as they're going to try and navigate this retake with just those classics. Art Gun here will take down Zach on Heaven with the Spectre, and that means that it's going to be down to just DX on the Soba, but he will get picked off as well, trying to go for that defuse, but it was too unlikely. He was outnumbered, and Team TFF will post a second round on the board. Expectedly, you would think, because they did go in for those full buys with those Spectres, and they would expect some return on that investment, and that is exactly what we have seen. 2-0 on the board. Finally, we're going to get into our first gun round, and this is going to see Team SL Esports come out with full buys all around. As you guys can see on your screens, Zach is going to be on the half armor because he's not able to afford it. Well, actually, he can afford it, but interesting choice there. He wants to save the 800 credits. On the side of Team TFF, looks like ARs all around except for a couple of Spectres here, and once again, Team TFF, Wind is going to try and contest B main once again. Danesh here is holding a good angle outside from first lane.
Take flight.
Wind here had to dash out of that position because he did get spotted by the drone, and elsewhere Soul Dragger has picked up the kill on RG, and this is a big pick, and Artgen will of course go ahead and pick up that trade, and it's all square once again, back to a 4v4, and now
Revealing area.
Team TFF just trying to reallocate, maybe considering going towards B through mid. That's Sova Recon here. Both Sova Recons used in this mid area, but not giving too much information, and as a result,
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Artgun and Alike here have just started to move back in towards A side, which is heavily guarded. Make no mistake, we got Zach, who's going to be the first person to make contact in this tree region, and that alarm bot could be the end of him. I think there's a block here. I think the Omen smoke here is just prevented Zach from getting spotted out, but that means the Team TFF were able to walk on, and finally the alarm bot going off, and that was the end of Zach. TFF Wind coming in from A shot to pick up that kill, but you could look at the wraparound here from Danesh, and this could be something. 7 seconds left, and it's only Danesh left. They've got a firm side control once again. The spike has gone down, and Wind here will flick to the head of Danesh really quickly and get a third round on the board for Team TFF. Impressive performance from there. I really like the way they did not commit to any particular side. They wanted to make sure that they had an advantage, a numbers advantage. They had some information advantage before committing to that site, and luckily for them, the smoke at tree was extremely key, denying that visual for Zach, allowing the teams to walk into A site. 3 rounds in, the score is 3-0 towards the attacker side. Something again that you would not expect on a map like Ascent, and it is a fairly well balanced map. I won't say it's especially attacker sided or defender sided, perhaps a little bit defender sided. So it is surprising to see that even yesterday we saw the attackers doing really well here. Wind a little bit aggressive here and has gotten picked off. A second pick coming in. That was an insane headshot from Zach. Elsewhere, Alike has picked up 2 kills. And DX here is struggling. I think it was the defenders who went out with the agenda to push, and maybe they did it because they were on an eco round, but it hasn't paid the dividends. Team TFF will pick up a 4th easy round. It did look like a whole bunch of defenders pushed out from B main, and it was DX with picking up a whole bunch of kills in the end, coming back onto B side only to find that RG was already waiting for him there. So an interesting attempt. An ego rush is not always a bad idea, especially when you're going to surprise the opponents. But just this time around, it didn't work for them. And take a look at Danesh here. He's managed to pick up an operator, and this is going to be big. Will get the pick on Wind with that operator, and surely in round number 5 you've got to expect with the scoreline of 4-0 that the operator is going to come into play. RG here pulling out the run it back, but it gets denied almost immediately. And take a look at this, the Hunter's Fury from DX could have potentially been the end of RG. He's down to 20 HP and he's decided that he's going to go in for the heal now.
Take flight.
I like here now, both the drones are going to cross each other and both the Sovas are going to spot each other. That was interesting to say the least from mid link and a bottom mid. Like here with a useful recon, he is going to get spotted out. Can they get the kill on him though?
Last player standing.
It looks like they cannot, and Soul Dragger here with the wraparound from B main and a lot of picks falling back to back, and that is going to be round number 1 on the board for SL Esports. I am sure that's a huge sigh of relief for them. They were going, the momentum shift was real and they had to make something happen, and finally in round number 5 they were able to pull it back, and that operator surely was a bit of a surprise because Jet had to go in for the half buy on the armor, which is what actually allowed them to afford it. I didn't actually catch their economy, but taking a look at the economies now, we got full buys on both sides, and this round is going to be big. The players of Team TFF looking like they are setting up outside of A main, and this turret will have to be taken down, as it will give out Danesh's position. He's bold enough to go in for a second peek. Ooh, and that was a close one. It was... Wind is searching for that first pick on his Blade Storm, but it's going to be RG who will pick it up finally. Meanwhile, the attacker side Killjoy has got a lockdown in and they managed to detain a player as well. It is Omen who's on the A shot, but he'll survive that somehow, and picks coming in on both sides, and we're now looking at a 3v3. Miracle is the only player still anchoring A side, but the bad news for Team TFF is that they haven't been able to enter the site, so it looks like they are going to be falling back. Art Gun here has managed to get the pick on the flanker. It was Soul Dragger, but take a look at the position of Zach.
Remaining.
Was in a great spot and could have done more damage, one would think, but he managed to peek a little bit earlier than perhaps what he should have. But now it is down to just Miracle. He is aware that the team is repositioning to B, so a Killjoy lockdown could be in the play here. Minato and RG making their way through B main. You gotta smoke that CT, Minato. You gotta smoke that CT. And Miracle here is going to balance the odds. It's a 1v1. Is he gonna go in for the lockdown? The spike plant will go down, and out comes the Killjoy lockdown. This pretty much denies any part of the site to Omen, and Minato is forced to jump out of there. Ooh, Miracle nearly whiffed that one, but finally putting it out on an excellent round from him. 4 kills and the defuse, pulling out that lockdown in at the very end. Well played to Miracle. to pull that round off for Team SL Esports. A second round of the board, and this scoreline is starting to look a little bit better for him. And those one taps nearly missing, but well played to both teams. Scoreline now looking at 4-2. Yes, SL Esports looking like they want to make a statement, putting in some strong performances.
Need a drop. Thanks.
Turret out.
Danesh on the operator once again from market. Oh, this could be the end for him. He got spotted out, and the jet dash is going to save him. Like here was looking like he wanted that kill on Jet after spotting him out with the drone. And for now, Team TFF are down to just their last two players. It is down to just Wind, in fact. And let's try to get a glimpse of where he is. He is on A side, has dashed in, and we'll get the kill on Miracle as well. Unfortunately, the spike is not in his control, and he has to go back to mid and almost... close calls from both sides here. Danesh is on the op, folks. Let's remember. That was unfortunate. He's going to get peeked from top mid, and DX will pick up that last kill to secure a third round on the board. And now we're talking. SL Esports is looking back in the game. Let's take a quick look at the economy, folks. This does mean that Team TFF are a little bit low on economy, and after this round, if they're not able to put in a good performance or save their weapons, it's very much possible that we are looking at an eco round on their behalf. Although 4 rounds on the board already, it's not a bad performance from any stretch of the imagination. And maybe just a couple of more rounds, and they'll be pretty happy with this first half attacking side on Ascent. Zatch is going to let that bomb buddy out, and I think there was a Omen Paranoia coming in from B main. Take a look at Wind. He's in such an advanced position. A showstopper coming out and will get blocked by the platform. I tell you, Wind was a sitting duck at Switch, but somehow he has survived, and I think it's because Zatch accidentally blew up the showstopper on the platform outside market, and Wind is still alive. He's trying to hold off these positions. The spike has gone down, folks. It's a 5v5 retake. It starts things off with an operator shot on a Wind from Danesh. So the Jet versus Jet fight is going to be interesting to see. Danesh here on the ultimate will pick up 2 kills, trying to go for the third, but Alike will be able to trade him out. And then likewise, Zatch will come out as well. 2 players of TFF on the side. Minato playing Boathouse will pick up Zatch. Down to just Miracle with that double kill. He didn't need anyone's help at all, and he's going to go ahead and pick up that defuse. He does have his lockdown ready already, so maybe just considering sharing that defuse with a teammate. But what a retake we just saw. An aggressive start from Danesh with the operator shot out of market. That double kill there from Killjoy was really something, wasn't it? It really was. But well played to Danesh as well. He pulled out the Blade Storm, got a second pick in first lane, and then dashed in towards the face of Alike, searching for that third kill. But Alike was fast enough to pull out his Phantom and get the trade on him. But it was really a Miracle who took it home in the end. 4-4 on the board, folks. Game is on. Miracle here will get a pick again. He is on fire, folks. Has got the opening kill as Team TFF tried to force the issue outside of A main. Soul Dragger elsewhere has picked up another kill, and Danesh as well. So Team TFF here losing a lot of picks early on. There were a couple of picks at A short and one at A main, down to just their last 2 players. And I wonder what the plan here is. Minato getting spotted with that drone. A good nade coming in. It looks like they are going to get pushed, and Soul Dragger will pick up Wind as well, and Miracle is going to pick up the last kill as TFF Minato goes down, and a 5th round on the board for Team SL Esports. We talked about that eco round, and here we are with the scoreline looking at 5-4. And yeah, it looks like it is time for Team TFF to seriously consider that eco round. On the other hand, SL Esports' economy is looking good and healthy. It looks like we are going in for a technical timeout, folks. This is from the side of, I believe, Team TFF. Maybe a good time for them to just stop things for a second. They were leading 4-0 and all of a sudden they've lost 5 rounds in a row. So maybe a good time to just reevaluate their tactics and the strategy, and just to see if they are doing the things that they were intending to do. The setup for Miracle continues. Looks like he's going to be anchoring down B side this time around. He still has that lockdown as an option. Soul Dragger's been doing pretty well from that A shot, getting picks off at mid link, and anyone in mid has really been a victim to his one taps. Dhanesh on the operator has been pretty effective as well. So a good performance from Team SL Esports overall so far to just bring things back. Not to take away any credit from Team TFF for the strong start that they have provided to this match. Well, looks like the technical timeout is scheduled to end very, very shortly, and we should have the match going back on live. This time around, Team TFF are looking fully concentrated outside B, and looks like 4 players will want to challenge this mid link area. In terms of their buys, as you guys can see, we've got 3 sheriffs on. Wind is probably going to pull out the Blade Storm. I wouldn't be surprised. And Artgun here is going to head in with a Frenzy. So an interesting choice of weapons. I don't. It's a save round for them, so they really want to see what best they can get from this, and that nade doing some damage, I think, to the players of Team TFF. Take a look at this. Omen is down to 33 HP. RG is down to 65 HP. And as expected, Wind here has come out with the Blade Storm, and Dhanesh does not want to contest that, not with the AWP. He has moved back
No charges left.
almost immediately, and that Killjoy turret is going to be annoying for them to deal with. Meanwhile, RG has picked up a useful pick with that Sheriff. And this does mean that they are going to contest B side. Although I'm not sure if they're aware, there is a player at the back. It is Dhanesh, who is still held down at Boathouse and picked up a crucial kill with the spike going down and trying to peek on the first lane. Just a mistake there from him. RG has picked up a Phantom, and this could be dangerous for Team SL Esports. They do have firm control of the spike, and both players here now on B main just trying to reallocate.
One enemy remaining.
And down to just the last player, it is RG, who is alone. Like was just trying to go in for that wraparound from Market. And looks like he has enough time to go and pick up the spike. I don't know if he's aware, but Killjoy, Miracle has gone all the way around and is playing A shot, so this is quite unexpected. RG has, I don't think he's had an easier spike plant in his life, to be honest. He's just gone ahead and picked up the spike that was lying on second lane and planted it in an unsupervised site. Miracle here was perhaps just expecting him to go in towards the A side, but that wasn't the case to be. And take a look at this. We've got the lockdown coming in. It's going to force RG out of the side. He does have a good view here, though, from CT coming in from first lane. He could just get picked off, and Miracle is going to win that.
Turret down.
Is he going to stick it, folks? Are we going to see another defuse in the works? It looks like it is. Miracle once again will get that pick, and we'll go ahead. We'll get the defuse and go ahead and get the pick on Phoenix as well. And that was interesting. I had a feeling that he was going to get picked off right here when he was crossing in the first lane, but it was not to be. And that combo, along with the lockdown and the turret, was just enough for him to go in and stick that defuse. And not just that, take a look at this headshot that he was able to land immediately after the defuse ended. So that was a sneaky little bit of a play from Miracle here, and that means a 6th round has been posted on the board for Team SL Esports. So after a slow start on defense, which definitely was a matter of concern for them, it has now,
You should run.
the tables have now turned. But take a look at this, 6-4 on the board. Team TFF looking like they want to push towards B side. The lockdown going down here. This is going to get them the side, but I think Dhanesh is going to be detained in there, and Wind not taking his chances, just jiggle peeking to ensure that he was indeed detained, and will get that easy pick. And now Team TFF have gone ahead and got another big win here with that operator from Boathouse, is making it count. A 3v4 retake is what we are going to be watching here. Miracle Ooh, Alike here getting a sneaky kill from B main, a second kill as well, and a third kill. Alike is going to wrap things up with that B main position. What a position that was for him to hold off, and perhaps Team TFF, Team SL Esports was not expecting that on the side of attackers. Alike here, take a look at his position on B main. He picked off those players one by one, and when it was time, he turned around towards Killjoy and got that pick as well, securing that round. A good round here, and Team TFF surely will be happy with 5 rounds. I think if you would have told Team TFF that they could have 5 rounds at the end of the attacker side half, they would have taken it, folks. They would have taken it. On Ascent, 5 rounds is good, and it's a formidable score to really go up against in the second half and try to defend. But make no mistake, if a 6th round is in the offering, Team TFF is gonna want to take it. Artgun here will get taken down. Unfortunately, Soul Dragger once again in this A-shot position has been so good. Does get traded out by Wind, who will dash onto A-shot. And just about updrafting from that Hunter's Fury coming in, but that's follow-up nade from Zach will do the damage as Wind goes down, and now we are looking at a 3v3. A couple of players were outside A main and have suddenly made the decision to go back. It is Alike and Minato who are falling back. Miracle here surely will soon report that, and DX here has picked up a big kill on RG, who was trying to sneak in to mark it from mid. And this means that Team TFF have a decision to make. Yes, they have decided to go back to A, so a couple of decisions changing quickly. Miracle here will pull off an important kill. Dinesh is on the operator and will get the kill on Minato, and just like that, Team SL Esports will pick up a 7th round, folks. That is the end of the first half, and this is how things went down. Miracle here expecting the next player to come out of A main. Unfortunately for him, Minato was right alongside on A shot, but Dinesh was there to wrap up, clean up the mess here in one sense. And the scoreline at halftime is looking at 7-5. This is a typical, quote-unquote, typical scoreline that we see at Ascent. It's a well-balanced scoreline. It's anybody's game still, but now Team TFF does get a chance to defend, hold those off angles and make those rotations and just prevent that spike plant from going down and putting as much pressure as they can on SL Esports. But I am interested to see how Team SL Esports are going to line up on the pistol round. Looks like B main push perhaps, as Dhanesh and DX are pushing out alongside him towards mid, and Omen is going to get spotted out. He is holding only a classic, so Dinesh will easy peasy take him down, no problems. More defenders here on B side here. We've got RG as well as Alike who are on B side, although RG is in a safer position in CT. Zach here will pick up the kill on Artgun elsewhere, and I think this was all the way at spawn if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, Alike here getting an interesting pick, but his teammates will all get picked off. And it's down to just him. He's on 20 HP. He's going to get caught on the reload. Maybe Omen is coming in from first lane. And that double peek will be enough, as Team SL Esports will pick up an important round, the pistol round. And the scoreline now moves to 8-5. Jet here close to getting picked off, but would dash out, and of course Omen and Jet timing that peek to perfection. There wasn't much that Alike could do in that position. An 8th round on the board, and surely SL Esports will be feeling confident to go ahead and pick up this next round. Quick look at the economies. Full buys on the side of SL Esports, except for Miracle, who's gone in for a Sheriff. Interesting choice there. And on the side of Team TFF, we are looking at a 100% economy round. And in terms of their positioning, Killjoy getting spotted out by Sova will get taken down, and Dhanesh is the one who's going to do that with his Spectre. SL Esports have entered site, and the plant is going to go down. Minato and Wind are going to challenge this, however, from tree. Minato will manage to pick up a kill with that classic, but surely the Spectres are going to come out on top as expected. They managed to pick up a kill. It was DX who went down, but I don't think Team SL Esports will have too much to complain about there. That fight in the end, it was a good ploy. They prioritized the spike plant just to ensure that the economies get that little bit of a boost, and in the end they really couldn't do much with those classics, as Team SL Esports run riot with their Spectres. I'm sure SL Esports would want to roll out a bonus round. It looks like they will, except for DX, who no, scratch that. DX is going to go in for a Spectre as well. So full buys all around from Team TFF, and Sova is on the Odin. He's going to begin with a spam at the beginning of the round, and he's taken down Miracle. So that was an interesting play, and I think he has managed to do some damage to some of the other players as well. Zach is coming in without any armor here. This is a bonus round, let me remind you guys, on the side of Team SL Esports, and that Odin is still alive and kicking. I think Alike has moved in towards Boathouse. Team SL Esports want to continue this push, it looks like, towards B main. And the spike, remember folks, which is on Sova, is still in B main. While there has been a player, it is player number 3. Let's take a look at what he's doing. Soul Dragger, take a look at this wraparound. He has gone all the way around and maybe trying to sneak into A side or come in from top mid, trying to catch some of the players. And that Killjoy turret is going to give his position away. That is unfortunate.
Spike down mid.
As the spike will go down in mid. It is Wind who was camping out this position just outside of mid link, and now he's going to pick up a much better position and just hold off Team SL Esports. Soul Dragger, if he doesn't check his close left, he's going to fall into trouble here. Both the players haven't seen each other, and just walking past him is Soul Dragger. He didn't check his left, and I think even Wind didn't really see him until he turned around and checked mid link. It was Soul Dragger coming back from spawn, and that was an interesting play we saw. But despite that good start, I think the Odin from Alike really throwing Team TFF, Team SL Esports off a little bit perhaps. But that was an important round. It was a bonus round for Team SL Esports, and if they would have won it, they would have really started to run away with this game, especially from an economy standpoint. But that's not to be. Things may have just balanced out just a little bit. Team SL Esports now having more or less full buys. I can see a Spectre in there, and I can see Zas just briefly considering the Ares or maybe even the Odin. But full buys once again from Team TFF. We got Artgun and Wind who are going to go and take a peek at A main. A main is looking clear, but action once again is going to be at B, it looks like, as the players have just assembled there. Zach is going to get spotted out.
Satchel out.
In that Sova recon.
Out of charges.
And looks like Team SL Esports is going to slowly make their way in, searching for that pick, searching for those crucial picks. Omen, Soul Dragger is going to lose that fight against Wind at A main that we were covering just a second ago. Artgun will pick off Zach as well. So a couple of players down for Team SL Esports and Team TFF. Will pull one back, and Alike goes down. He was on the Odin, folks, and this could be big. DX will go ahead and pick up a second kill. So Team SL Esports really balancing this one out. They still have RG who is holding B side down and will pick up 2 crucial kills before he gets traded by Dhanesh, who is in second lane but is down to 11 HP, and the spike is far away from him, and he wasn't looking at the right angle and will get picked off by Wind. And Team TFF pulling back an important round here. 9-7 the scoreline now. RG did really well there. I think for a second it did look like Team SL Esports were trying to tip that round back in their favor. But a good position held by RG and good patience exhibited, waiting for the players to come in from B main before revealing his position.
Here. Placing sentry.
Right.
Placing Get out of my way.
The Blade Storm coming out immediately. I think this is from Dhanesh, as he will follow that Sova drone, trying to get any information about the whereabouts of Wind. And that Killjoy turret, as always, is going to be annoying to deal with. And Wind has been spotted out, so Dhanesh is aware of his position, and Will peek out from that jet smoke and get the kill on Zach. And that is unfortunate, as Dhanesh here was looking for that pick. Actually, DX is going to try to shock that Wind a little bit and get that damage level a little bit up. Meanwhile, I think it is Alike who's pulled out the drone in mid and just making sure that no one is camping out in those spots. He's still got that Odin in his hands, and he is at 3. And if that A shot pull, if that A main push comes into play, this Odin could give them some serious purchase. That's a good shock dart. I wonder if it did any damage to DX. Dhanesh will get that pick. This time it is on Artgun though, on A shot. And what a flick on Wind as well. He's flicked straight to the head. And the spike plant is going to go down, and not
30
before a
seconds
couple of
left.
players get spotted out. We are looking at a 3v3 here. I like with that Odin trying to prevent the plant, but is not going to be able to. Ganesh is still on his ult, and I want to see if he can catch a couple of more kills. We see the run it back coming into play from Phoenix.
One enemy remaining.
And so over the Odin will pick up a couple of kills, and Minato will jump down from heaven at the same time as Team TFF will pull off an easy. They made it look easy, that 3v3 retake. And Alike here is really starting to show us some impressive performances with that Odin. We just about managed to catch the end of that. So here spamming through that heaven wall and making that Odin count. The scoreline is now looking at 9-8, and Team TFF have done well here on the side of defense to just pull things back a little bit.
Here. Placing sentry.
Artgun once again is looking like he wants to set up an
Placing alarm bot.
anchor down A site, and once again Team SL Esports is concentrated outside B main, and Zach just trying to counter that Odin from Alike here, just pre-firing those spots that he was expecting him to be in. But Alike here somehow managed to get a pick still. And searching for the
One
kill
enemy
on
remaining.
Alike. Team TFF have pulled off a flawless victory. That was impressive. I think in the search for the kill on Alike, the team just got baited in. And take a look at the peak from Phoenix. He was on first lane, picked off some good kills, and it was Minato who came in the end with that spray through the smoke, getting the kill on DX. And a flawless round in the bag for Team TFF, and the scoreline now all level up 9-9. This is anybody's game, folks. This looks like one of those matches that's going to go all the way deep into the third map. And who knows, maybe even some overtime. We are yet to see overtime in this tournament, and I'm excited to see if this is going to be the first match that shows that. For now, Team SL Esports this time more outside A than B. For the first time, I think so far we are seeing this. They haven't been successful in getting that first pick at A side, which just makes it easier to go in and take some control of the spike. And Zach here with that spray through the smoke, albeit at the loss of a few HP himself. An interesting nade there from him. That definitely did some damage to Dhanesh, and I'm sure there had some
One enemy remaining.
less than kind words exchanged at that point of time between both the teams. But now, while we were seeing that action, looks like Wind is the last player alive on the side of TFF, nearly getting taken down by Soul Dragger. But there is a decision to be made here on his side. They're okay for economy, so there's really no need for him to go in for a save. But maybe considering that both Zach and a couple of other players, I think it was Dhanesh who is so low on HP, might just go in for that retake.
30
But no, it
seconds
looks
left.
like Wind is quite
Spike
content
planted.
with just holding his Vandal to himself. Team SL Esports looking like they are going to pull this one off. I was just talking about how they don't get the picks on A main, and just like that, Zach through that smoke, he was one tapping, and I think it was Alike who was on A heaven, who managed to who got that headshot in the end. And after doing all the damage on A side, they promptly made the rotation, and on the way towards B, I think they managed to pick up the rest of the players of Team TFF, and it was down to just the Wind, TFF Wind.
Here.
Who is on the jet. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard, and it is Wind on the side of Team TFF with those 18 kills on 12 deaths. Good solid performance so far. And on the side of Team SL Esports, it is a miracle with those 18 kills and 12 deaths. So the Killjoy top fragging on the side of Team SL Esports. You don't often see that, but a good Killjoy can be invaluable in a map like Ascent, especially going in on the defense, which we are yet to see. After that round, the scoreline now moves to 10-9 in terms of economies. We got full buys both sides, except SL Esports. I think Omen may have to go in for... Well, no, they do have full buys. So the game is looking pretty balanced, folks. And once again, it is a fully B concentrated push. Heavy presence in mid link from Team SL Esports. Just trying to get that pick on A shot. and see if they can assert some control over this mid side. Will get spotted out by Killjoy's alarm bot, and following that, the Sova's drone, and this will be the end for Zatch. The Hunter's Fury coming out from Alike. He's going to take down Zatch with him. A little bit of a revenge for that last round. And a great position from RG and Win, who have pushed out from A main and coming in from that top mid, have picked up a crucial kill on the person who was in mid link, which means team SL Esports are reeling over here. Danesh getting picked off as well by Wind. It's down to just Soul Dragger and Miracle.
Last player standing.
And oh, that
Spike
Sova
down, B.
bull, the Sova dart was such a bait for him to track along with his crosshair, just allowing the winner, the opposition to come in and take that pick. And Soul Dragger here just trying to avoid those bullets while he got stuck on reload. But it was purely a numbers game in the end, as team SL Esports got a little bit outnumbered while coming in for those picks. The scoreline has moved to 10-10, folks. So take a look at this. This is a dancing omen, guys. We got to run it back on RG this time. Maybe we're going to get to see that if there is a push towards A main, but no, it's going to be a B push once again. They do have a couple of players though. Actually, I take that back. They are reallocating towards the A side, and in fact Team TFF are pushing out of A main once again. Maybe they expected this. A great recon here from them, getting spotted out, and an Omen Paranoia getting at least 3 players. It would have been a prime opportunity for Wind to dash in and take those kills, but I think the Sova recon just scared them away. This could end badly for Zatch. He has been spotted out. And yes, Minato will go in and take that pick. Thank you very much, he says, as the TFF, as Team TFF will need to fall back now. SL Esports have pulled out the lockdown. RG with an excellent pick. Is he going to go in for the... I think he is. There could not be a better time for the run it back. Unfortunately, getting sprayed through that smoke, and Team SL Esports will pick up a good kill. Although that lockdown did go down, they weren't able to enter the site. The spike here has been passed on to Soul Dragger, who does have his ultimate available, so he could potentially go in towards Boathouse with just a few seconds left on the clock and push for that
Cover going out. Drop the spike.
plant. But no, it's not. It doesn't look like the case. It looks like they're gonna stick here on the A side. The Paranoia coming in. They've gone in for the blind. TFF have picked off both the players who entered the site, and the spike is now not in their control. Soul Dragger will get a trade, but Minato will get the final kill on him. They briefly did consider, folks. I could see the thought process there that Omen would use his ultimate and go and put that plant down in B. But I think going against it, maybe thinking it was the expected thing to do. But interestingly, Team TFF were all concentrated on that A side, as you can see here. And those 2 picks coming in very quickly before Minato could go in and get the 3rd kill on Soul Dragger. 10-11, and just a little bit Team TFF are now starting to look strong here on the defender side, and the scales surely tipped in their favor, given that they are defending for the remaining of this game. Now, unless we see an overtime, and if I was a betting man, I would have my money on Team TFF Esports at this point of time. SL Esports incidentally also on a save round. They got a couple of Sheriffs of Frenzy and a Spectre, and DX pulls out his Hunter's Fury, hoping for some purchase but couldn't really connect. And now it looks like they are going to commit to this A push. Take a look at the positions of Team SL Esports. There are 3 players on A shot trying to push in. Minato will take down DX, who is trying to challenge him through A main. RG here at A shot will get 1 kill through that smoke. He does still have the run it back. Let me remind you guys, he still hasn't used it. It could be an easy round in the bag if he does pull that out though. The Omen Paranoia coming in here in Phoenix cannot see, but will still pull out his flash and get a kill on him. But Danesh will be there for the trade, but not before Wind and Minato clear things off at A main.
Match point.
Well, there's not much you could expect here. SL Esports did their best in the circumstances. They were on an eco and they were on a half buy, and despite that, they were able to get a couple of picks. In fact, just 1 pick on RG, and that run it back is still in the hands, is still available. So taking a look at the ultimates, we got the run it back, we've got the Omen teleport, we've got the Killjoy lockdown available, and the Omen ultimate is going to be available on both sides. Once again, there's no presence at A side whatsoever apart from Soul Dragger, who is at top mid, and the players, the whole of Team SL Esports, 4 of them are going to try once again to push through mid link, and it was Minato who spotted out the Omen ultimate coming in from behind him. An interesting choice from Soul Dragger there to just teleport in this portion of tree. What it has allowed is for Team SL Esports to move in towards market and get a better control. Zach is here waiting for the wraparound, and now is the time for the run it back to be pulled out. Zach is going to finish him, but didn't go in for the second kill. He's going to be patient about this one, but will get traded out, and SL Esports look like they're down to the last player, who's Miracle. He does have the spike on him, so maybe he can wait this one out. A huge pick there from him on Minato, as the defender side Killjoy will trigger the lockdown. He needs to worry about the wraparound here. It's going to be RG who comes in, and just before that could happen, it looks like it's going to be Artgun pushing out of B main. A good attempt from Miracle, it has to be said, but in the end,
It's all about humanity.
it was going to go towards Team TFF. And that is the end of our first game, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The first map, Ascent, is in the bag for Team TFF, and the scoreline for this match is now at 1-0. We're going to head over now to Split. Not before we take a quick look at the scoreboard. RG and Wind, 22 kills apiece with just 16 and 14 deaths respectively. A great performance from them coming in. Team TFF, remember these guys were 7-5 down at half time, but like I said, they were going to be defending the second half, and Ascent is a defender sided map just a little bit, and we could see that happening today. The momentum shift towards Team TFF, they were able to bring it home in the end. Miracle on the side of Team SL Esports, a good performance from him. Some sick one taps we got to see from him, with 19 kills and top fragging on his team. Well, that brings an end to map number 1, folks. We will be back live with map number 2, which I believe is going to be Split, and it's going to be interesting to see how the momentum is going to start off there, and if Team SL Esports is going to be able to come back. It's a must-win game for Team SL Esports, and if they do win on Split, we're going to head over to Icebox for that tiebreaker. So there's going to be exciting action up ahead for the rest of this game and the second game, folks. Don't forget about that. It's at 10 p.m, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. 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 It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Alright folks, welcome back. We are back with map number 2, and as promised it's going to be at Split. Team TFF just edging Team SL eSports in that first game at Ascent, and now it is time for them to defend first. So let's go ahead and jump right into agent selection folks, and I'm going to jump back into the big screen.
About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Alright, it is always interesting to see a Reina pick. Personally one of my favorite agents in this game. Another interesting pick is going to be Viper on Split, so it looks like Artgun is definitely considering that. RG, who was on the Phoenix in the first map, is looking like he's going to go on the Reina. On the side of SL Esports, looks like they've already made their minds up. I think they've all locked in as well. So Zach is going to be on the Sage. We're going to have Miracle, who was on Killjoy last time around, playing a more of a duelist role this time on Raze. DX, who was on the Sova, is going to be on Breach. And that's always going to be fun to watch. Where my Breach fans at, am I right? And Dhanesh is once again going to be on the Jet. Soul Dragger is going to be on the Omen. On the side of Team TFF, it looks like we've got Viper that is confirmed. We've got RG's on the Reina, Minato's on the Omen. We've got Wind, who's on the Raze this time around. It looks like we may have a challenge in agent select, folks. We may have to do that agent selection once again, so bear with us. We'll be right back.
It's all about humanity. About humanity.
Sorry about that, folks. It looks like there was a challenge with one of the players going disconnected, and now we are back on Agent Select once again. We're going to see pretty much the same lineups. It does look like Zach on the Sage, Miracle on the Raze DX with that Breach. Danesh is on the Jet, Soul Dragger on the Omen, and on the side of Team TFF, excited to see a Reyna. And it's going to be RG here who's going to be playing Reyna. We got Artgun who's playing Viper. Excited to see some lineups for sure. We've got Minato who's going to be once again on the Omen. We've got Wind who was on the Jet last map. Is going to be on the Raze this time around. And Alike, who was the Sober player last time, is going to be on Killjoy. It looks like we are all set, folks. Less than 30 seconds to go. And we're going to be live with the action really soon. So don't go anywhere.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Alright, it looks like we are in and we're all set to go live with this game. Map number 2, Team TFF coming out on top after the first map at Ascent. SL Esports here have some fighting back to do, and if they don't win this map, it's going to be Team TFF who will go ahead for our semi-finals that are scheduled for tomorrow. But surely SL Esports will have a thing or two to say about that, and we're going to see what they have to offer on the attacker side this time around. And Split, folks, it is Split. It is notoriously known as a defender-sided map. So Team TFF surely must be feeling like they have done something right to be able to defend first on a Split. Best case scenario for them would be that they pick up a whole bunch of rounds on the side of defense and carry that momentum over in the second half. And likewise for SL Esports, we can see DX here flexing that flash arm, and you know what's going to happen first off. I think we'll jump straight into the action, folks. That flash is going to come in and they're going to push through this A main. The first flash, the second stun coming in. I think Minato, who is on the Omen, is on the site, has pulled out the Paranoia, will pick up a kill to stop this rush on Miracle. A second flash coming out, but he will get traded out as the flash went out. Minato is still alive and kicking on site. How is he still alive? Team TFF, an excellent hold here from Minato on A side, and is down to just the last player. I believe it is Zach who is stuck in CT, and he does have the spike on him. Is he stuck? I think he's stuck, folks. Oh, they haven't checked the corner. Oh, that could have ended dangerously for Team TFF, but luckily for them, Alike had the presence of mind to go in and check around the wall, and fortunately for him, the wall actually broke. And take a look at this. Zach just sat there and he turned into peek to check, and it was Minato and I think RG who just promptly went past him going towards A heaven, and Alike was there with the presence of mind to come in and pick up that last kill. But let's talk about Minato here. What a hold of A side. That Paranoia coming in. He knew Breach was going to be on the flashes. And that Paranoia was timed to perfection. The follow-up kills, 2 of them, and staying alive until the end of the round despite a heavy A rush from a Team SL Esports. Speaking of heavy rush, this time this is going to be an eco rush. No buys at all except for Danesh, who does have a shorty. It's going to take a whole lot of damage from that Killjoy equipment. Try to sneak up towards A heaven, but people falling fast here for Team SL Esports. Alike here with a triple kill with that Spectre. A flawless round in the bag for Team TFF. A good start on defense. We talked about this. We talked about how Split can be a defender-sided map. But I think we're going to really see more action once the gun rounds get started. Team SL Esports showing some intent, some aggression. There's no lurking around. There's no slow approaches. They're just going straight in for those side pushes. Which is not a bad way to play, and can really help you to build your confidence as a team and to really break the confidence of the opponents. But now it's going to be a full buy round for Team SL Esports, and Team TFF are going to be Spectres all around. This is a huge bonus for them if they can pull something off here. In terms of positioning, once again, it's going to be Breach pushing through with that blind, and Omen Paranoia coming in as well, as Artgun will be the first to go. Wind here on the raise is trying to rally and will get a kill with that nade. That can be super useful. Miracle going down here. He's going to come in with that peek on the Spectre. Will get a follow-up kill on Danesh as well. So some damage here being taken by SL Esports. Minato here coming through with his Spectre. Can he do something here? The timing of that push was incredible, and is down to just Soul Dragger, who is inside B side. He does not have the spike in control. He's only 12 HP. He's going to pull out a fake shrouded step. 12 HP and a dream. What can he do here? He needs a round for his team desperately.
One enemy remaining.
Managing to pick up a kill. It's a 1v1 now. Reina is on 100 HP. And that peak had to be lightning quick, and it was from RG. Will pick up the final kill. That was too close for comfort for Team TFF. Considering that they were on a bonus though. I mean, despite being on a bonus, picking up that round, making it 3-0 on split, and possibly forcing Team SL Esports into another half round bye. It looks like they are going to force the issue here. Soul Dragger in fact picking up a Vandal without any armor, and that's always an interesting choice. A couple of Sheriffs I can see as well. Maybe they are actually going in for the half bye, a split approach. A couple of players, yes, they are going to go in for an eco, and the scoreline folks has forced them to do this. Danesh and DX here trying to get some action going outside of A main. Minato will get the first pick off. Reina got dinked and has to fall back down to 14 HP. So not a bad start from SL Esports. Danesh will go in and pick up that kill on Reina. It was RG who was retreating. Wind here on the race, tantalizingly close to getting picked off. What a dash from Danesh to avoid that showstopper. I tell you, if he can pick up a couple of kills, yeah, it could be really a game changer for his team. But no,
One enemy remaining.
players going down thick and fast for SL Esports, and they're down to just Miracle here. Danesh playing really well, picked up a Phantom as well, and could have done some serious damage to the opponents, but unfortunately for them, Team TFF were alive to the danger, and I think it was Artgun on the Viper who came in and got that crucial kill, and in the end there wasn't much that Miracle could do with that Sheriff, and gets picked off outside of A main. 4 rounds on the board for Team TFF, just the start that they were looking for, I'm sure, and probably having every intention to finish things off in this map and not allowing SL Esports a chance.
Turret out.
Nightmare's over.
Wind here getting a kill and trying to sneakily go back with the satchel, but DX wasn't having any of it. Just coming out and making sure that he's not going to make his way back. And now it looks like SL Esports do have the man advantage as a result of those encounters in mid. RG here holding a good angle. Will dink him, but Reina here managed to pick up that kill as well. Interestingly, down to 10
Player
HP.
standing.
And it's going to be SL Esports who came out on top.
Enemy remaining.
And that was so close, but it was Miracle with the peak in the end from CT. The Killjoy ultimate coming out into play as well. But there wasn't even enough time for the countdown to finish. Miracle just peeking through that CT position and getting those kills off. And a good aggressive move once again from SL Esports. The wraparound from Raze was fairly useful in the end. A first round on the board. A first round on the board for Team SL Esports, and they'll be surely breathing a sigh of relief. They needed this. They need to swing things back in their favor. Still have a full round, full buy for all their players, and once again have collected themselves around. And Soul Dragger here with that ultimate, trying to sneak in from behind, but Alike was alive to that danger. We saw the Breach ultimate coming out as well. The Rolling Thunder on B side looks like. And as a result, SL Esports have taken a good control of site. They got a couple of kills as well. Team TFF are down to just the last 3 players, RG and alike, trying to stop the plant by spamming through that smoke. And Zach will come out and get a kill on CT. Interestingly, it was a 1v2 that he was facing. And Team TFF are down to just their last player. It is alike. He will get a kill on Zach. And a follow-up kill as well on Miracle. 3 picks here for him. And DX here was there to pick him off. And an interesting round once again. Team SL Esports, what are we seeing here? Are we seeing something of a comeback from them? They did start out with a lot of rounds lost. A very aggressive approach to start things off. And this round, of course, those 2 ultimates combining so well from the Shadows from Omen and the Rolling Thunder from Breach to take complete site control. And in the end, it was enough for them to win the round. The last map also began like this, folks. It was Team TFF who started off with a 5-0 lead on the side of attackers. And then we saw a 7 back-to-back rounds for Team SL Esports in the round, finishing at 7-5 at halftime. And in the end, Team TFF did come out on top. So I wonder if we're going to see anything similar on the side or on this map at Split. We got 3 players from Team TFF anchoring down A side. RG has gone into an interesting and naughty position on the left side. I don't know if Danesh is alive to the danger of that. And he is not. He will get picked off, and RG surely should have dismissed back into cover, and he has done exactly that. Out comes the Lear, and Breach taking some heavy damage. That flash not effective. Breach is extremely low. A third flash coming out. You know a Breach is panicking when there are so many flashes. And the aftershock forcing Reina to come out of the cover, and it was DX in the end who finally gets the pick on him. As Team SL Esports will force the issue. Minato here with a triple kill from site. How many times are we seeing this from him? Once again, from site, holding things down, and Artgun finishing things off with that spray on DX and the snake bite, it looks like, getting the last kill. So a good round from Team TFF. Minato once again, he's having a good game on defense. We saw it in the pistol round as well, and this time around with the Vandal, he waited till it was time for him to do that peek from behind this LED screen that you guys can see. And in the end,
Need a drop.
he timed it to perfection, and Team TFF were able to break that momentum which was just starting to move towards SL Esports. And as a result, they are going to have to put in an eco round. Sheriffs for a couple of players, and the rest of them are going to be on classics. Danesh, predictably so, will pull out the Blade Storm, and with the help of Breach, maybe can get some purchase from it. That is unfortunate. He dashed straight into the path of that bomb buddy. And Viper here with an innovative one-way Poison Cloud. Breach here flashing for his team. And Danesh wasn't able to connect both those shots on both Artgun and Alike, who have continued to do a good job of holding this site down. Soul Dragger meanwhile has walked into B main, and he's in the site behind the box. You can see where Win thinks he is. SL Esports now are down to just 2 players, and Zach will come in with a useful pick with that classic, but is down to just the last player, and he still only has a classic in his hands. Can he get a pick on Reina here? He's trying to bait him out. But in the end, it is going to be Reina who comes out on top of that RG with that Phantom Spray. Just trying to bait Zach to tempt him to take a peek at the ropes to get an easy kill. But in the end, not a bad round. They did manage to pick up a couple of kills, and for an eco round, that's not necessarily bad. The scoreline now, however, does move to 6-2 in favor of Team TFF, who are doing a fairly good job at defending on Split. SL Esports will be keen to maybe post at least 4 or 5 rounds on the board, and I think they'll be quite happy with that, considering how they will be strong on the defense as well, given how the map is designed. Full buys around, all around, guys, as you guys can see, and it's heavy B main push. Jet here has actually already gone on the side. Danesh dashing past all of that. Killjoy utility will take down the turret, but the defender side lockdown has come into play, and it's going to be a miracle with that ultimate. The showstopper has put an end to the lockdown and put an end to alike as well. So 2 players going down for Team TFF as Team SL Esports taking a firm control of B side. We're now looking at a 3v5 retake on B. We've got Artgun and RG both coming in on B heaven. And we've got Minato, I think, from CT side, who goes in with a paranoia and confidently pushes in, but Miracle will catch him off with that headshot. RJ here taking one trade, taking a second trade and dismissing, avoiding the damage from that nade from Raze, but it was Soul Dragger who with the wraparound from heaven will get the kill. And Team TFF have lost that round. Team SL Esports doing an excellent job of making that push count. RG doing well here to pick up a couple of kills and be looking set to pick up more if it wasn't for that flank coming in from Omen. But in the end, he was outnumbered and it was going to be the round for Team SL Esports. 6-3 the scoreline, as we mentioned. I think the golden number that will be in the minds of Team SL Esports is surely to at least get 4 or 5 rounds, if not more. And I think they'll feel pretty confident about that. Interestingly, Artgun has pulled out his ultimate in mid, completely denying that part of the map for Team SL Esports. Team SL Esports, meanwhile, quite content with just sticking around in B main, and in comes the rolling thunder from Breach once again. The Killjoy utility is going to be a challenge, but they've somehow dealt with it. Wind here has pulled out the showstopper and will get a kill on Miracle, but Dinesh is there to trade that.
Right there.
We are looking at a 3v4 here. Team TFF coming in fast here for this retake. Already on site. Trades exchanged. RG here has got the pick. And SL Esports will stand strong in that retake, have come out on top. I think there was even a revive in between from Zach on, I think it was the Jet, perhaps on Dinesh. I wasn't quite sure. But well played from SL Esports. B site is really starting to look like their go-to place on attack here for split. Team TFF will be a little bit hard done. That showstopper from Raze in the beginning, just getting one pick on SL Esports, but she got traded as well. But SL Esports will be quite happy to post a 4th round on the board. We talked about the golden number. We've reached 4 already. How many more can they pull back? Omen is holding the close judge position, I think. Minato, he has not been spotted out. Oh, that is unfortunate that he didn't get a single pick because they hadn't checked that corner as SL Esports made their way in. Reina is down to 5 HP somehow. We didn't quite catch that, but take a look at this action at Vents. Tanesh will get the pick, but I think Artgun managed to get a dink on him. And SL Esports are now starting to dominate with another round on the board, this time on A side.
Last round in the half.
I think Minato had a great chance to pick up a couple of kills here. With that judge, they completely ignored that right side of A main and all of them pushed in through heaven. But those judge shots just not connecting, as you know, the more the distance and the more the inaccuracy with that weapon. SL Esports will be pleased to post a 5th round on the board, and we are down to our last round in the first half. Full buys all around, and Zach here, we're going in with a half armor, surprisingly so, despite having 5,000 credits. That first blind from Breach, a good one, and Jet dashing out and doing some damage to Reina, couldn't secure the kill. An Aftershock is going to further push Reina away from that situation, that position, and this Breach is just in relentlessly flashing. He will get a pick on alike, but will get traded out by Wind with that judge, and I think they're going to pick up a weapon as well. So Team TFF are not going to give up easily here. They want this 7th round. RG has not checked his corner, will get picked off, and now Team TFF are down to just the last 2 players. Wind, who is continuing to anchor on this A side, and meanwhile Artgun has made his way through A main, and now he is the last player alive. They are aware of his position. He will get the pick, and it's down to a 1v1. Dhanesh versus Artgun. The spike is dropped on site. Those blade storms not connecting, and Viper surely can prevent the plant with a snake bite. Yes, and in it comes, but it did not connect. That Jiggle peek gave Danesh all the information he needs. In comes a second snake bite to block off that part of CT. And Danesh's aim is going to be on point as he picks up that round. And that could be huge for SL Esports as they level things up at halftime. A 6th round in the bag. A halftime score of 6-6 on split. Surely you have to feel like the advantage is in the hands of the defenders now, and it's going to be SL Esports who are going to sit in that defender side position for the rest of this map. Team TFF, I felt like started off so well, posting 4 rounds on the board back to back, and from there just a little bit lost their way in the end as Team SL Esports really started to put in those plays, combining those abilities of Breach and Jet together, and those ultimates that we saw from Omen and the lockdown from Killjoy as well. 6-6 on the board, folks. We're all set for an interesting second half. Let's see how Team TFF will push on the attacker side. Looks like they're going to start off with a mid push. Whoops. That's not where he intended that to go for sure. The breeze stun catching out Artkan and will get picked off by Danesh. That headshot coming in really well. Danesh here with a second kill as well, and that
Standing.
SL Esports have shown some aggression here on the side of defense and will pick up around a convincing win, it has to be said. When they saw the concentration in mid, I think Breach and Jet combining supremely well, picking up so many kills. Take a look at that triple peak on alike, and there was not much that they could do. And in the end, I think there was only one player alive. There wasn't much that he could do. He already made his way. I believe it was Wind who made his way all the way to B Heaven from sight, but it was already too late by then. The first round of the second half going in the favor of the defenders, and it's going to be Seoul Esports coming in with full buys, full Spectre buys, full armors, and Team TFF looking at the scoreline. They're going to be okay with just doing a full save round and see what they can get from this. A first kill falling here at mid, it looks like. And RG will pick up a kill on Soul Dragger. This could be big here. He's going to overheal and pick up that Spectre as well. So this could be something. That bomb buddy looks like it has gone crazy. And the key could be here with RG, who's the only player with a Spectre, it looks like, on the side of Team TFF. Can they hold off this retake as Team SL Esports reorganize? An excellent paranoia coming in from Omen, making that blind. Team TFF will get a pick. A couple of follow-up trades, but it's down to just the last player. It is Wind. And that jet dash coming in from that jet updraft from Danesh is going to be the end of him. And this is a good retake from Team SL Esports. They'll be quite happy with that. Maybe got a bit closer than they anticipated, but that initial kill from RG proved to be very, very useful. And if only Reina could capitalize with that Spectre, it could have been a round pulled back for Team TFF. But for now, it's going to be SL Esports who have won both the first rounds of the second half, and they're going to be definitely considering pulling off a bonus round on the side of defense. You can see Omen has a judge in his hands. On the side of Team TFF, a full buy round, and it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play this one out. Artgun is going to get the first pick on A side, and interestingly the rest of the team with the spike is going to start pushing in towards B. Just as Sage, it looks like it's leaving A side. Take a look at this. Zach has left B side completely to reallocate and come towards A because of that first kill, and Team TFF have secured B side without putting in a fight. This is a dream for them, and they also have a man advantage, and they've got Artgun who is on the lurk. I think he has spotted out a couple of players. RG is in an advanced position. Surely SL Esports have lost the ploy here. RG doing here really well there to pick up 2 kills. Came close to picking up a 3rd kill on Jet as well. And Danesh is down to 33 HP and DX is down to 14 HP. This is looking like a round that is going to go in the favor of Team TFF. This is the first gun round that we got to see in this half.
Out of charges.
And some miscommunication. Surely that first pick coming in from Arkan on A side really convinced Team SL Esports that it was going to be an A push, but it was in fact the B side that Team TFF were targeting, and were quite happy to walk into that B side without anyone watching it. The last player is Breach, and he does have a Phantom. It's DX who's on the Breach. He's going to go in and save this Phantom, but he might just come face to face with Raze in just a second. Wind, can he spot him out? No, he cannot. So the first round for this on the second half for Team TFF posted, and the scoreline is now looking at a 7-8. So they're not going down without a fight, folks. This one is going to go down to the wire, as most split matches do, if I'm being quite honest. Oh, that headshot from DX on Wind was real, and now it looks like Team TFF once again. This has been their go-to. They are setting up outside of B. I definitely heard the Blade Storm being pulled out, and I think that was from Dinesh, who is watching mid. It's gonna come face to face with Minato in just a second. That Breach flash has been so consistent with his flashes today, and combining so well with Jet. Alike is still holding that position on mid. Artgun here was on A side once again, as you guys can see on your mini maps. Zach here will pick up the first kill. I think this was on B main, as Wind and RF have just walked into sight. RG, my apologies, have just walked into sight. And RG will pick up another kill. So Team TFF looking like they've got control of B side once again. Artgun here did get flashed, but it was a little bit late to come, as DX will get picked off. And now Team SL Esports are down to their last two players again. This Soul Dragger and Miracle. A split approach here as Miracle makes his way towards CT. Soul Dragger is going to try and get a pick from heaven. It looks like it is a B main plant. I'm not quite sure. It is not a B main plant. It's a default plant. So they need to stay on site to protect that. Spike from getting diffused. What's the decision here? It looks like the decision is to save. So Team SL Esports quite content with just holding on to their weapons for this round in exchange for the point on the board, and the scoreline will read 8-8 very shortly. Team TFF is fighting back. They lost the first two rounds in the second half, but I think they've come back quite strongly on the attacker side on split, and this is always fun to watch a team that is doing well on attack. 8-8 on the board, and if you take a look at the economies, you will understand why those two players chose to go in for that save, because they are fairly short on funds here. Danesh surely considering the operator he is, and he has managed to get the operator as well. DX is the only player on the breach who doesn't have an assault rifle or an SMG, and he's gonna stick with a sheriff. And the positioning of this Opper is going to be absolutely critical. He is in B main, and for the first time in the whole match, B main is empty, and it's going to be a full A concentrated push from TFF. How soon can Dinesh get to A side and stop this push from happening? Viper should be able to hold him off for quite a bit, and take a look at this position from Sage behind the Viper wall. Oh, that spray not going the way he wanted for sure, but he still has a good position. But TFF Win coming in and picking up two important kills, and that operator all of a sudden is looking like
Spike planted.
a little bit too less, a little bit too late. And he's got a couple of players to watch out for from ramps, and he will not be able to do it as Team TFF pull off a flawless round. And they will take the lead in this game on the attacker side. So that is interesting, and that is unlucky from for Team SL Esports. That investment in the operator with 5,000 credits not paying off. Unfortunately, it was a combination of bad luck, really. And looking at the pattern that Team TFF have followed the whole of this half, they have been going the B side pretty much every round, and there was definitely presence shown, so I would have bet that they would come B main again. So the operator positioning not really wrong, but just unfortunate there as they lose out Team TFF coming in hot, getting a pick on Zach in mid, and just like that, they've got B Heaven control. Two players from SL Esports are on site. It's DX and Dhanesh, who will try to hold it off. Omen has already TP'd deep into sight. That breach flash is dangerous, but despite that, Wind is going to get the pick and dash. Dhanesh is going to get the pick and he's going to dash through towards CT. I think there is still a player. Dhanesh is going to fall back. It does look like Team SL Esports were on an eco half buy again. Oh dear.
Last player standing.
Miracle doing well with that first sheriff kill and almost picked up a second as well, as Team TFF are looking strong, posting a 10th round on the board. What are we seeing here, folks? Definitely had SL Esports tipped to win this one with the defender sided advantage in the first half. But it looks like Team TFF are really going to show us how it's done. A 10th round on the board, 10-8. And SL Esports were forced into a half by last round, and this time around they are looking okay. And Dhanesh once again has pulled out the operator. This time he is going to be peeking mid, and take a look at the positioning once again. He may come face to face against Omen. Minato, who is on the Omen. But this time around, quickly realizing the push is coming in from A, missing that first top shot. That is unfortunate. Has to fall back. Surely there's no coming back from that, as Omen continues to apply pressure in mid as well. And he will get the kill on Omen. But the push coming in from RG. Team TFF pushing from A mid to B. Interesting play from them there. I think Soul Dragger was disconnected, unfortunately, was easily taken down. We're looking at a 3v2 here,
Spike planted.
with TFF having the man advantage. In comes the showstopper, will get the pick, a second. The Rolling Thunder as well, and looks
Last
like he's going to
player standing.
succumb to that snake bite. Unfortunate for Miracle. And one has to think that that Rolling Thunder went to waste because he didn't have the option of Raze pushing in with him. He tried his best and got it stuck in this little corner, as you can see, but in the end fell prey to that snake bite from Viper, and just like that, Team TFF have picked up an 11th round. That is interesting. It looks like we are going to be going into a technical pause because of a disconnection. Hopefully that player should be back up, but let's take a look at the economies now, folks. 4,000 credits on the Sage. So Zach is going to be able to afford a Phantom with light armor. DX is going to be able to afford a Phantom with light armor as well. Dhanesh is going to have to go in with that Bucky, and I think the plan will be to prioritize getting him that ultimate orb so that he can pull out his Blade Storm. Miracle does have a full buy, and Soul Dragger might be able to afford a full buy as well. Over on the side of Team TFF, take a look at those economies. 4,500, 7,400. They are looking pretty healthy for full buys for another 3 rounds perhaps. So even if there is some sort of a comeback that we do see from SL Esports, I think they will have enough time to deal with that. So this technical timeout looks like it is more related to a server disconnect, folks, so it may be a bit longer, but surely we'll be back with live action very, very soon. 11-8 on the board. Team TFF really making it look easy here on split on attack. Despite losing the first 2 rounds, I think the scoreline was 6-6 at halftime. They went down 8-6 after the first 2 rounds, but from there they really pulled a lot of rounds back, and looks like we're beginning. It looks like we are starting. And Team Soul Esports does look like they have a man disadvantage, and that's unfortunate for them. Out comes the showstopper, and can he get the pick? Yes, he can. And a nade that was sent out before he was picked off managed to get some purchase, as TFF RG will go down as a result of that. Art Gun has pulled out the ultimate here, and every player will be sitting inside this ultimate cloud here. Dhanesh here doing well to pick up a kill on TFF Wind. Searching for players. Our SL Esports inside this poison cloud. We're gonna see a revive inside the cloud as well.
Player standing.
And DX will get a kill, but it wasn't Artgun, and that was the key. Really, they needed to get the Viper. And this is unfortunate because the last player is going to be AFK, and Team TFF looking good to post a 6th round, a 12th round, my apologies, on the board. And this is looking like it is going in the direction of Team TFF. They're going to be on match point, folks. The good news for them is that their Soul Dragger is back. So that is definitely a relief for Team SL Esports. They're 4 rounds behind in terms of their economies. Ooh, they're not looking great. They're gonna have to go in for those Spectres, those Judges. That is unfortunate, and looks like Jet has done the right thing here. Dropped his weapon to someone who couldn't afford, and is gonna go in with that Blade Storm. And of course, no need to check Team TFF's economies because they are fully loaded, folks. A B side push once again with some emphasis coming in from mid as well. Zatch has gone ahead and walled off B main, so Team TFF perhaps is considering reallocating their resources and moving in towards the A side, picking up that ultimate orb. Elsewhere, TFF move a couple of players. Soul Dragger here with a wraparound, picking up a couple of kills, and Team SL Esports showing some intent here, some aggression. We wanted to see this for sure from them, but those picks came so quickly as we were watching. I think it was our Miracle who came in from mid first, and of course the wraparound coming in from Soul Dragger, picking up those 2 important kills. DX pitching in as well, and in the end, the last player alive was Wind. He managed to pull back a couple of players, not before Dhanesh was able to take him down. So scoreline now moving to 12-9. This is starting to look a little bit interesting. What that has allowed is for Team SL Esports to come back stronger with full buys around. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. That breeze flash to start things off. DX here is looking dangerous. The combination between him and the Raze. SL Esports pushing out of A main. This is so exciting to see, but it looks like it has backfired now. They've lost too many players, and TFF alike will go in and pick up that kill and also get the ultimate ready. And Zatch here has managed to make 1 trade in mid, but it is looking like an all-even 2 versus 2. This ultimate is just going to allow Dhanesh to come in and pick up a couple of kills, and is down to just alike, who does not have control over the spike. He does have 150 HP, and the same cannot be said about the other 2 players of SL Esports. Dhanesh here just coming out to get a peek and some information. He's down to 8 bullets, so he needs to definitely get that reload in before doing anything else. And oops, that is unfortunate from him. Dhanesh is tantalizingly close to picking up this kill. He is continuously peeking from that A heaven side. Alike does have 30 seconds on the clock, so if he does want to take his time with this plant, he does have the option. He has a turret that is going to show him anyone coming from CT, and that has just happened. And now SL Esports are converging on that position. Alike will pick up the kill on Zatch. Will go in for a fake plant, but Dhanesh is going to be there to pick that up. And a 10th round on the board here. SL Esports are not giving up easily. They are not letting this one go without a fight. What a round we just witnessed. A push from SL Esports out of A main. How surprising was that? Those breeze flashes and the aftershock was incredible to see. Absolutely relentless. It really allowed Raze to push alongside him. It was Miracle pushing alongside him and getting some purchase from those abilities, and bringing that equation down despite the heavy economy boost from TFF. Take a look at it now. It's looking fairly balanced. And speaking of economy boost, look at what Jet has in her hands. Dhanesh with the operator. Can he make it count? Oh, that was close. That was close. DX here coming out with a great pick. He's going to go with the Rolling Thunder on mid. He's going to chase these kills for sure. Omen is desperately teleporting behind. It was Minato. He still needs to deal with it elsewhere. Dhanesh has picked up Art Gun with an operator. Minato has finally taken the trade on DX, but Zatch will be there to take that trade as well. And TFF are down to just the last 2 players. It is Alike and RG. I don't have spike control yet, and in fact are making their way in through mid.
player standing.
But Miracle will spot him out, and Alike is going to get taken down. It's going to be down to just RG here. The defenders are swarming around the spike like bees. They're not going to allow him to come anywhere near it. RG just making sure that no one is going to sneak up behind him from sewers. Minato's going to have to play this one well
left.
because he's the only one. Sorry, my apologies. Soul Dragger is going to be the first one to pick that up, and SL Esports post an 11th round on the board. Are we looking at our first ever overtime, folks? The score is now 12-11. SL Esports have done so well in pulling things back. And take a look at Team TFF's economy. They may just be forced into going in for a half buy, or not being able to afford the big guns, and maybe they'll have to do with a Spectre or two.
Here.
This match is really starting to heat up. It's a do or die for TFF. For SL Esports. Let's remember, folks. So it is match point, and it is really it's also a crucial round from the perspective of who goes through in this tournament. Because if Team TFF can pull off this round somehow, we will not be going to Icebox on match number 1, and we're going to be finishing this match with a 2-0 win for TFF, and they will be the ones to qualify for the semi-finals. But SL Esports, as we have seen, they are willing to fight. And looks like we are good. There was a brief time out, and we are all set to get going.
Let's make them dance.
Here.
Once again, a lot of pressure is going to be applied on B main and in mid, and what a way to start. The showstopper being pulled out by Miracle. He's rushing out of A main, but unfortunately for him, that one is going to be a bit of a waste because there was nobody available for them. Breach here. DX has picked up a triple kill here on B side, and just like that, Team TFF are down to just their last player. Art Gun, he will try to get a couple of picks here. 1v4. Can we see something special? Down to 15 HP. He's done some damage to Dinesh as well, and surely the rest of the team is going to start pushing back, and that breeze splash is going to be the end for him. And what a comeback we have seen from SL Esports. Team TFF was so close to wrapping this up. They had about 4 rounds when they were on match point, but it wasn't to be. And Team SL Esports have really fought and pushed this game into overtime, folks. This is our first ever overtime match of this tournament, and any League Ego tournament ever, if I'm being honest. And this is going to be interesting for us to watch. The teams will switch sides. So we're going to have SL Esports attacking once again, and TFF will have a go at defense. How crucial is this first round in overtime? SL Esports showing some great intent in that last round. I know Miracle couldn't really get any kills with his ultimate, but just the intent of pushing out with a showstopper on A main, while it didn't work out for them, they did have the round in the bag in the end. But for now, a very much split approach from Team SL Esports. Soul Dragger is going to be lurking on A side. It looks like Danesh and DX here are going to force the issue with the Breach and Jet combination. But that Viper one-way Poison Cloud is going to give him some relief.
Right there.
Win throwing in a useful nade, doing a little bit of damage to DX, but Team SL Esports are going to play this one slow. Miracle here in B main, searching for a first pick here. This is going to be interesting. TFF Alike has pushed out, and I don't think he's checked the right corner. He has finally. And Zach has gone down. I'm not sure what exactly he was doing in that corner, but the spike has been dropped, and this could be huge for Team TFF. DX here challenging that mid position, will get a pick on Alike, but will get treated from Art Gun. But Miracle, who has walked in from B main, has picked off 2 players, and all of a sudden TFF have lost that advantage that they so much had in their favor. Minato is still watching. A chaotic fight in mid between RG and Soul Dragger. It's going to be RG who comes out on top of that. Is down to just Miracle. Can he clutch this round? He does have a showstopper. That paranoia. He unfortunately walked into it. Out comes the nade. You need to pull out the paranoia. Showstopper. And what a clutch from Miracle. That spray transfer was insane. Minato and RG double picking at the same time. But Miracle was able to pull off something incredible. I think it was a 4K in the end for him. And I for one thought he should have pulled out that showstopper going into that blind, unfortunately. But take a look at the accuracies of these headshots. Oh, that is something else. What a round we have witnessed. Team TFF will feel like they've been robbed there. They had the first kill. They had the spike down. But from that position, Miracle somehow getting 2 picks on B main and then entering and somehow getting the spike down and holding it off. Despite getting dealing with an Omen paranoia, despite dealing with a Reina blind. Miracle here. Has he saved the match for SL eSports? Team TFF now back on the attacker's side are going to be outside. A main and Danesh for the first time, and I'm so glad he finally got this to work. That operator coming into play and getting the first pick. This is what they wanted. And surely A side is not going to be something that they need to push now with this operator watching from CT. DX here on the breach continues to hold that B side. What a performance from him we have seen so far. TFF playing this one really slow. Oh, it looks like one of the players is not available. That is unfortunate here. Soul Dragger has picked up a pick on Artkan, but will get traded out by Minato. So, Team TFF coming down to just 3 players, and realistically, that is 2 players. Danesh here having a good chance to finish things off with the operator missing both those shots, unfortunately. As Miracle will take down RG, and it's down to just Minato who will get taken down, and I'm afraid that will be the end for Team TFF. And who would have expected this? Who would have expected this? Wind has finally come back, and I'm afraid it's going to be a little too late.
30 seconds left.
He wasn't able to pick up a buy either, so he's on the classic, and this is going to end badly for him, surely. And that is the game, folks. Team SL Esports, it was a must-win game for them. It really, really was. And they managed to come out on top of that. We're going to take a quick look at that scoreboard. Team TFF, how did they lose that? I thought they had that game in the bag. They had match point at 4 rounds when they were on match point, but somehow Team SL Esports fighting back and pulling off an incredible comeback. In the end, there was some bad luck here for Team TFF as well, as they had a player who was AFK. But yeah, the match MVP is going to be going to Alike, who was on the killjoy from Team TFF with 24 kills and 17 deaths. Excellent performance from him. An average combat score of 270. That is impressive. Danesh here, he had a couple of bad rounds with that operator. Very unfortunate, but in the end, he was able to make it count. The team pushing in towards A side that he was holding off with his operator. 22 kills off of 17 deaths for him, with an average combat score of 241. Miracle not far behind. What a clutch we saw from Miracle. We're definitely going to clip that stuff on B main. Despite losing that early pick and losing control of the spike, Miracle walking on to B side and getting those 4 crucial kills to clutch that round. That was incredibly impressive. Map number 2 going in the direction of SL Esports, and that means we are heading to Icebox, folks. It is a tiebreaker, and then we're gonna head over straight very, very soon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Icebox in under 5 minutes, and we'll be back after this short break.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Alright folks, we are back with map number 3. What a match we have seen so far. The match is tied 1-1 and our tiebreaker is going to be on Icebox, and I can't wait for that. It looks like the teams are all set and we are ready to go in to Agent Select. So let's head over to the big screen right now.
About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Alright, it's time for Agent Select. Let's take a look at the picks here. We got DX, who was on the Breach last map, is going to be on the Jet this time around. Zatch is going to go with the Sage once again. We got SL eSports, who will be defending first. And Miracle is going to be on the Raze. Dhanesh this time around is going to be on the Sova. An interesting pick right there.
Select your agent.
And we got Soul Dragger once again on the Omen. On the side of Team TFF, Artgun is going to stick with the Viper pick, and likewise is going to be on the KJ, just like we saw last game around. Minato is going to continue on the Omen, RG is going to be on the Reyna, and Wind, who was on the Raze last time around, is going to be on the Sage. So good picks, and I think Sova is a good pick really for a map like Icebox. Team TFF going with one duelist and a couple of controllers in Omen and Viper, and Killjoy and Sage, so 2 Sentinels as well. So duelists, not as duelist heavy as one would expect, but SL Esports putting in those 2 duelists, and with both Jet and Raze, and they've got 1 Sentinel in Sage, a Sova, an Initiator, and 1 controller. So interesting picks here from both sides, and it's going to be exciting to see how this pans out. The match is tied at 1-1, folks. It is a tiebreaker. We're going to see the best from all the players in this game for sure. I'm excited for one, and I'm pumped to see what strategies we're going to see here. SL Esports, can we talk about the aggression that they showed in Split on the defender side, and the way they finished off that map? It really looked like TFF was going to wrap things up, but SL Esports pulling something special out of the bag. And let's see if they're going to be doing something similar on this map. TFF, a very B-heavy push. Looks like Omen may be caught out a little bit. He has managed to TP out of that position and needs to retreat because TFF is serious about this push. A Reyna blind coming in is going to delay things just a little bit. Somehow they need to get the spike down and retreat back into post-plant positions. And that Sage wall could be crucial to help them to do that. Oh, a sneaky kill from Zash there, just jumping over that box and killing the spike planter, and will get a flick onto Omen as well. So we're looking at a 2v2 all of a sudden. TFF, that aggression did not pay off, couldn't get the spike down in time. Wind is down to just 73 HP. Scratch that, make it 51, and Artgun is down to just 27 HP, and Team TFF don't have the spike in control, and Team SL Esports are looking strong to take this round with them. The Sage wall is going to break momentarily.
Toxin screen down.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds on the clock. Are they considering a rotate? It looks like they are considering a rotate, but Zach is surely going to cut that off. Well, no, they simulated a rotate really well. And the poison cloud being called back from Viper was a good one because it convinced the Team SL Esports that they were falling back, but they actually did come back and eventually plant at B, and finally the spike plant has gone down, and now they have something to play with.
Last player standing.
Zach here waiting for that heal and could not peek with Artgun, and as a result Artgun has been taken down. Ooh, a good flick here from him, but Miracle will come in to take that trade. That was a close one, and Team TFF nearly salvaged that round back, but SL Esports with that good start have gone ahead and picked up this first pistol round. As always, super important. After missing those first few shots, take a look at this flick to the head. Miracle here coming out on top of that fight. 1-0 scores on the board. SL Esports are the ones who are going to get off the mark first. They will go in for full buys. I hope it does look like Soul Dragger is going to be on a Marshall. Interesting choice. Looks like Team TFF have gone in for the forced buys. I love to see that from a side that's lost the pistol round. And they are pushing this A side with intent. The Reyna blind coming on, and now the paranoia from Minato helping the team to get some amount of side control. The Sage wall going down, and this will really allow Viper to put that plant down. Are we going to see some sick lineups? Minato's got a crucial pick on DX, who has gone down. Going to post-plant positions, guys. Going to post-plant positions as soon as you can, because SL Esports are arriving and they are coming fast. Minato will get another pick. I like getting a pick as well. Zash will go in and pick up that trade, but it's down to just Soul Dragger, and we are looking at a 1v3 situation. And surely, show me the Viper lineup. There you go. There it is. The Viper lineup is going to come down on the spike. And that's not going to allow Omen to go for that defuse. In fact, it's going to be Alike who will pick up that kill. And Team TFF coming back strongly after that first round loss on the pistol round, going for the forced buys. I love to see a team do that because it's unexpected, it's showing intent, and boy did they pull it off. Scores all tied up at 1-1. An interesting start to the match as well. Just an indication to show you how well fought and competitive this match is going to be. It is a best of 3 and we are on the tiebreaker, which means that the team that's going to win this match is going to go in for our semi-finals tomorrow. So it's all on the line, folks. Team TFF third round. This is going to be a bonus round for them. Pushing in through mid is RG. Omen promptly TPing above the tube. Looks like SL eSports have gone in for the save, guys. And Dhanesh on that Sheriff has managed to get a kill. In fact, a couple of kills, and all of a sudden we're looking at a 3v3 Team TFF. Surely they need to bring this one home. They need to bring this one home. And Zach has got his hands on a Spectre and DX has got his hands on a Bulldog. This was not in the plan. This was not part of the script. The spike has gone down for Team TFF and they're playing interesting post-plant positions all on Snowman.
Last player standing.
And RG has gone ahead and cleaned it up with a couple of picks. It's down to just Zach who's on the stage. He's sitting behind the green box. I don't know if Wind is aware of that. I think he's planning to go for a ninja. And if he does, that will be something. Oh, and he gets spotted out by Wind. He was trying to be a bit too naughty there, Zach. And Team TFF, as expected, they should have gone ahead and picked up that second round after winning the SMGs. Tough call there from Zach. A second round in the board for Team TFF. And quick look at the economy. Surely SL eSports will come in with a full buy now that they were they're done with that eco round. Team TFF are going to try to salvage as much as they can. They're continuing with the Bulldog and the Spectre that they could save from last round. And every other player is going to go in for the full buy. Walking into A side here. Just making sure that no one is hiding in that nest position. A slow walk onto A side so far. Artkan is going to go in and pick up the ultimate orb. It means that the ultimate is ready. And she will go ahead and pull that out. A couple of trades here falling. As Alike takes down Soul Draggers. A 4v4. The equation is now 4v4. RG is going to go in for that plant on default. And Viper here once again. Trying to fall back. Alike will pick up a kill on Zach. Not before Dhanesh will take the trade on RG with a shock dart.
Revealing area.
Not the reveal that he would have wanted. DX has picked up another kill on Alike. And Minato will get the trade on him. And Team TFF with that Viper ultimate will pick up a third round. And what one may call bonus because they were playing on a Spectre and a Bulldog. And looks like they will come out on top. So 3 rounds on the board. That's interesting here from Team TFF. SL eSports will be a little bit disappointed perhaps because it was their full buy. And that Viper ultimate really can do something. Can really change the tide of the game. And that's why Viper is such an interesting pick for me. Because of the site control that they can achieve without even entering the site. For now, a whole bunch of ultimates are available for both teams. The Resurrection, they got the Showstopper, and we also have the Blade Storm on the side of Team SL eSports. TFF looking like they want to aggressively push. Take a look at the position that Omen has got. He's got a judge in his hands. He takes one. Couldn't get more than one, although it does look like he has damaged a whole bunch of players. But Team TFF, there was a flurry of kills over there. I didn't even catch that, but TFF coming out on top of that, picking up a 4th round here. Interesting play from I believe it was Soul Dragger with that judge. Got the first pick really well and just tried to spam through that smoke and didn't quite connect with the heads that he was looking for. While Team TFF made amends and picked up the rest of the kills. Wind on the Sage is leading that scoreboard with 9 kills and just 2 deaths. For now, Team TFF looking like they want to do that mid play once again, but this time Zach is coming out of the tube.
Wall raised.
And he changes his mind last second. He's going to go in for that wall. This time Team TFF want to move towards the A side, it looks like, from mid. The shock dart coming in from Sova. And Miracle was not alive to the push coming in from mid. And this surely was a result of some miscommunication as more players go down. But what's this? Looks like the spike has been dropped. And Danesh is going to be the one guarding it. The lockdown coming into play. Can Danesh fall back and get into a place from which he can still watch the spike? Getting that knife out and just the wrong time was Danesh. That was the opportunity for sure for Team SL Esports. They got the spike dropped in mid, and maybe Danesh should have fallen out and been a bit more aware of that push coming in from Alike. But in the end, Alike was able to pick up the kill without even the timer on the lockdown finishing. So SL Esports will be a bit disappointed on losing that round. What's happened to their economy as a result of it? It looks like they are struggling just a little bit. Maybe choosing to go in for that half buy once again, and Soul Dragger this time on A site with that judge. Let's see if he's going to get some purchase from this.
Cover going out.
Gets one with the judge, changes the gun. He doesn't have bullets to play with though, and he will get traded out. Maybe should have stuck with the judge itself. And what's more, TFF has gone in and revived RG, which means the equation is now a 5v2 with just Miracle and Danesh. Not with the best of weapons. Danesh does have a Sheriff on him. He also does have the Hunter's
Spike
Fury.
planted.
But maybe they might save it for a round that they can have a higher chance of winning. Miracle also does have the Showstopper along with a Marshal to play with.
Cover going out.
One enemy remaining.
Wind will take out Danesh, who's just trying to sneak in from mid. And I think Miracle has been caught out here. His position has been seen. He does have a Marshal, but Minato is going to take him down with that Phantom Spray in the end. And Team SL Esports losing that half buy round. May not be too disappointed. It was a half buy for them. But they really need to start winning more of their gun rounds. For now, the scoreline is looking at 6-1 with TFF taking definitely looking like the stronger team so far in this map.
Toxins going up.
Alright, interesting position from Zach, who is on the nest, has picked up a kill on Wind. He does have the resurrection with him,
Here.
but he needs to get out of there quickly as Team TFF are hungry for that trade.
Here.
Do not take that zip line, my friend. Do not take that zip line. And Soul Dragger coming in to help him, but RG will pick up the kill nonetheless and dismiss out of danger. We'll go ahead and pick up the follow-up kill on Soul Dragger as well, as SL Esports are down to just their last 2 players. And how often have we seen this? The operator is somehow on the wrong side of the map yet again. And interestingly, TFF have decided to go in for a rotate because Alike has realized that the whole of the B site is basically empty, and that's what he's done. He's going to lock things down from this side as his team will approach Artgun here with the spike. He's going to go in and will we see a Viper ultimate again in this icebox map?
Spike planted.
Danesh is the first to realize, and he's going to start making his way in. Jet is
Last player standing.
gonna be caught out by Artgun looking in the wrong direction. Danesh is gonna shortly come in contact with Killjoy as well. A good headshot to get that first kill, but there are 2 more players to go. And RG is gonna run away from this fight and just go sit at B long and ensure that that spike is gonna take as far as possible. Artgun is playing orange and has definitely heard that sound cue from Sova.
Toxins going up.
He is running out of time, isn't he? Danesh is running out of time. He needs to go in and get these kills quickly. He gets another kill, but there's not going to be enough time for the defuse. So he's going to decide to go ahead and save this operator. Good choice. Don't die with that spike explosion. And definitely don't peek that again. A good decision perhaps just to save that operator. It could really help them to pull back a few rounds. What's that done to their economy though? Couple of players are going to be on a Spectre and a Sheriff, while Team TFF will continue on with a good vein of form, and their economies are looking so bloated right now, folks, that they can probably afford to buy a couple of operators themselves, but will choose not to on the side of attack, and that's a wise decision in my personal opinion. A strong A-side push looking like once again to be the case from Team TFF. SL Esports need to reorganize quickly here. Sage, as you can see, coming in to help Soul Dragger and Miracle, who are anchoring down A-side. Soul Dragger will get a key kill because Viper was about to pull out her ultimate. And surely this has put the brakes on for TFF just a little bit. They need to rethink this round. I think they were banking on that Viper ultimate. For now, Zach is in a good position.
Spike planted.
Ooh, gets the headshot on Sage, but could not connect. And that showstopper not getting much purchase either. But Minato is going to be there to pick up a trade. And Wind with a headshot that looked sublime. Down to just Dhanesh and DX. Ooh, TFF alike with a wraparound coming in from mid here. This could be the end for Dhanesh. It is. And that wraparound from Alike was absolutely unstoppable, as Team TFF will go ahead and post an 8th round on the board on the side of attack, folks. And take a look at this wraparound from Alike. Gets a smooth one tap onto Dhanesh, who was on the Sova, trying their best at SL Esports for sure. And even after Soul Dragger did get that first pick on Viper, somehow Team TFF consolidated and continued their push onto A side. This time around though, it looks like they want to take the approach through mid once again. And DX here with a very aggressive approach, out with a Blade Storm. Gets blinded by Reina, so needs to fall back. Continues to push though. I saw the Hunter's Fury being pulled out as well. Soul Dragger here getting a kill on Alike, and this is the aggression that we talked about that SL Esports can tune into when they start losing too many rounds. They just push out and they just bring that aggression on, and Team TFF have found a way to enter side. Soul Dragger is still alive and he's still kicking. He's got 4 bullets and another kill here from Dhanesh. This is well played from SL Esports. Team TFF down to the last player. It is just Viper who is sitting inside the poison cloud, and he gets taken down as well. And SL Esports are going to complete a flawless victory. Who saw that coming? Team TFF here will surely be wondering how this went down. Very aggressive approach once again from SL Esports on defense. We saw them do this in split. We saw them do this in split as well. And it looks like that's the approach that's working for them. I wonder what the decision is going to be now. Flawless victory definitely is going to help their economies. There you go. It's not going to damage too much for do too much damage for TFF's economies, which are still pretty well, doing pretty well because of that huge difference on the scorecard that you can see. Surely SL Esports need to pick up these next 2 rounds. Surely they need to get these 2 rounds. Ooh, Omen's blind. Omen's teleportation did not work out well for him as Jet dashing in. Although he didn't perhaps need to dash in and could have taken that kill from afar, because that dash has allowed Team TFF to take that trade. And looks like TFF have lost another player over on...
You will not kill my allies!
outside of B, but there is a revive that has kicked in, and looks like Artkan is a player who was down. He is back up again. An Omen Paranoia coming in outside of A main. Soul Dragger will pull one back for SL Esports, and now the equation is back to a 4v3. Soul Dragger here, what a performance he has put in. We definitely need to go out and check out his skill feed to see how well he has played. Although now I think he has spotted RG. He's going to shoot his legs and take that kill down as well. 6 bullets left, and try to go for the next kill as well, but Artkan will finally trade him. But Soul Dragger looks like he has done his part, and SL Esports should be able to wrap this up, and Zach will pick
Spike
up that
down
kill on
mid.
Elite. That spray took forever to complete, and it's down to just Artgun.
30 seconds left.
Guess the trade on Zach is down to just him on the Viper. Can he clutch this? It's a 1v2 situation,
Toxin screen
and
down.
he is going to be in a bit of a sandwich position. Sova, Danesh here is right next to him. Won't get spotted, and Danesh will get that kill pretty easily. And Team SL Esports, it looks like they
Last
have
round
finally
before
woken
the
up and they're
split.
finding their form now. And Icebox took a little bit long to get going, but looks like they finally have. And as I said, it is an absolute must for them to win these next two rounds. Take a look at that headshot from Danesh. It is an absolute must for them to win this round if they have anything to play towards in the second half. On the side of defense, you would expect at least 5 or 6 rounds, but it looks like Team TFF have really gotten off to a great start and just carried that momentum forward for the rest of this round. DX, that is a bold position to bring that operator to, I'll tell you that, but he hasn't got a kill and somehow survived it. His kills get traded. Miracle getting traded here after taking down Wind. How did Soul Dragon not get the kill there? And he will get taken down.
Run.
SL Esports here down to their last 2 players, but they have picked up a couple of crucial trades. And looks like DX has still got the operator on him. He's going to just get out of the Killjoy lockdown. And they're going to have to take this one. It's a 2v2. The spike is just now going to go down. Sage is going to go in for the revive. This could be a game changer as the equation is now back to a 3v2, and Viper does get spotted out. The Sage wall is going to go up, interestingly.
One enemy remaining.
I wish it were that easy, my friends, but Killjoy does have a Nano Swarm placed in the right position. But now, Alike needs to go in. He needs to go in because this defuse is going to stick.
One enemy remaining.
And just a tad second late, a tad bit late here from Alike. He picks up both the kills, but to no avail, and SL Esports sneakily pulling that game back, that last round back, and now the scoreline is 8-4. It's definitely playable. It's something to play at. And take a look at this, like just not realizing that diffuse was being stuck through. Interesting to say the least. TFF will now get a chance to defend, and SL Esports is going to be on the attack. You know, I get a feeling that SL Esports enjoys attacking because that's how they play. Even on defense, I've seen them being more successful when they're out there and taking those gunfights early on rather than just holding back and anchoring sights down. It's just not their style. And maybe, just maybe as a result of that, we will see them on the attack. We saw them in the last couple of maps as well. B-side being held by Minato and Artgun, and DX is going to challenge that. A blind coming in from Omen just to stop this push towards B-side. This is a one-way poison cloud, and he needs to be careful here as Minato will get an important pick on SL Esports. But for now, the equation is back square. I think Killjoy is... Yes, Alike is on top of the spike. And he has stayed quiet, and Wind is going to come in and steal a kill. He will get traded, but has managed to stop the spike plant, and Alike is down to just 5 HP.
One enemy remaining.
And looks like Team TFF will go ahead and complete that retake really well. Alike, what a play from him. He just sat there on top of the B side. I think the B nest it's called, as you guys can see on your screens right now, and waited for the smoke to go away, and he caught Miracle out by surprise. Couldn't really stop the spike plant, but I think RG, who was on the wraparound, did the rest of the damage that was needed, as Team TFF will put the first round on the second half on the board and extend their lead in this game to 9-4. Interesting. I am surprised to see that SL Esports is not going to go in for a force buy. That's an interesting call. They're going to come in with just their classic pistols and a sheriff. It goes to show how much confidence they do have in their abilities to use the ARs, because they're willing to throw this round without putting in the buy. because of how confident they are in their abilities to pull the round back from the gun rounds. They have lost the first pick. Soul Tracker does go down. Of course, he did only have a Sheriff and he was up against what I believe was a Marshall. A second pick coming in from Alike with that Spectre, and now RG looking to just force the issue. He will spot out Zach as well and let his teammates know exactly where he is. And Alike wants some of this action elsewhere. Artgun looks like he has made the flank and he's picked up Miracle, who was on the lurk in B side, it looks like. Ooh, what an unfortunate time to be caught on reload, and RG is going to finish things off with those last two picks, getting a 3k in the end, and Team TFF puts a flawless round in the bag, and the scoreline will now move to 10-4. Now this is exactly what I was talking about, folks. Now if you don't go in for that forced buy after losing your pistol round and the scoreline is already at 10-4, the margin for error for Team SL Esports is now so low. They cannot afford to lose even a single round, because Team TFF looking like they're edging closer and closer to that 13-point mark. However, this is a good opportunity now because TFF expected to do a bonus play, and they are going to be doing that. Not doing anything crazy or pushing out. I can only see that Artgun is playing a more advanced position in mid. But for the most part,
Spike down
the
mid.
gunfights are going to go in the favor of the team that has put in that investment. They do manage to get a pick on Zach, but it will get tweeted out immediately. Miracle is low on HP and wants to take this fight against Minato, who is boosted up. I don't think he's aware of his position. Alike elsewhere has picked up an important kill. A second kill with the Marshall. This is interesting here. This is interesting, and I think he knows exactly where Jet is as well, and DX might be in trouble if he has connected that first shot. It looks like he has not, so DX is still 150 HP, and unless it's a crisp headshot from Alike, I can see DX coming out on top of this gunfight. Minato here with the wraparound. The spike going down, and if SL Esports are going to expect to win anything out of this game, they need this round. They need it so bad.
Standing ahead.
Last player standing.
Omen does have a Phantom in his hands, and he's got a full. He's got full armor, so that's good. He needs to check his left. He did not check his left, and unfortunately, Team SL Esports, unfortunately for Team TFF, SL Esports is going to pick up that round, and I guess all things considered, it is what we expected. It was the first gun round for SL Esports, and this is the confidence that I was talking about on the side of Team SL Esports. They were willing to go in for a full eco after losing the pistol despite the scoreline being 10-4, and making that gun round count was SL Esports. Not to forget Team TFF, Alike with that Marshall, nearly pulling off something special, getting 2 picks outside of A main. And bringing things much closer than what it actually should have been. But in the end, SL Esports coming out on top. We are witnessing a match pause, so let's go use this time to go ahead and take a look at the scoreboard. It looks like Team TFF will finally come in with those full buys, and Team SL Esports also will be able to afford full buys thanks to that win. Although there's Sage, Zach, who's on the Sage, will have to go in with a half armor. What is the play that we're going to see here? What is the move, folks? It looks like a B push from the looks of it. And the technical timeout is over, and we are now going into round number 16. This match a little bit in the favor of Team TFF right now, it has to be said. But Team SL Esports surely will have something to say about that. So let's see how this one pans out. Aggressive peek from Jet in towards mid, but TFF is going to pull back a couple of picks early on as SL Esports looking to show intent once again. Miracle has come a long way into B long, and Minato does not want to contest it at this point of time and put his team in any sort of risk, and they have fallen back and they're going to hold the site for sure, but from a more safe position as the wraparound is prepared, is getting prepared from behind. I think it's going to be Artkan or RG perhaps. We saw him do this the last couple of rounds as well. This could just catch Team SL Esports off guard, and out comes the showstopper. Is going to take down Minato with him. And Miracle will go in for a follow-up kill as well. So all of a sudden TFF are down to just their last player. It is RG who is on the wraparound, and surely they are going to expect it. I think Soul Dragger has already realized, and that will be the pick off. A well played from SL Esports. Miracle here once again putting in a strong performance, as you guys can see, with that showstopper and those 2 follow-up kills, and Dhanesh picking off Killjoy was the game changer really, as the site opened up, and it was a little bit too much to ask from RG in the end as he got spotted out at B long. And Team SL Esports now fighting back. Icebox, this is the icebreaker, it's the tiebreaker folks, and it's gonna come down to just which team has the grit to push until the very end, because I get a feeling that we're gonna see this game going into overtime as well perhaps. I don't want to jinx it. Miracle here will pick up a kill with his nade. He did a lot of damage with his spray, and then the follow-up nade is just going to take him down, and it did a lot of damage to Alike as well. He is down to 84 HP, and DX here is on the wraparound with 3 big kills. As Team TFF are just down to Minato. They were on an eco round, guys, and Team SL Esports absolutely stamping their authority on that round. Excellent gunfights here from Miracle, but really it was DX on the wraparound. Take a look at this. Cleaning things up from behind on that A side, as Team SL Esports will take home another round, and the scoreline is now 7-10. They are fighting back. We talked about how they were at 10-4 and they chose to go in for a full save because they didn't want to force the issue, and boy, is that paying off or what? 7-10. SL Esports, they're back at it. Interesting play here from Artgun, has pulled out the ultimate on A side. He does have RG for support. And Dhanesh here with the Hunter's Fury will get the first pick. Interestingly, Minato needs to fall back, and that paranoia will allow him to do it. But the wraparound from DX being shut down by Alike, who was watching from kitchen, and now the lockdown is going to come into play for sure as the spike goes down. And now we're looking at a 4v4 retake as Team TFF will rally their troops. Interesting swarm grenade there from Alike. It looks like they are all okay and outside of that lockdown, and it's a 4v4. The first diffuser will get taken down. Zach with a couple of kills here, and down to just Artgun, who is coming in from the orange now, will get spotted out by Soul Dragon. With that paranoia was not accurate, but it doesn't matter. He will go in and pick up that headshot, and SL Esports, boy, the momentum has shifted now. They are really finding their form on Icebox. Zach with those 2 crucial picks, picking off both players who were trying to go for the defuse. And Artkan in the end, who was on his ult on A side, a little bit too less, a little bit too late from him. And Team SL Esports are fighting. The score is now 8-10. Team TFF, what are they going to do here? Probably another save round. Yes, that's what it looks like. They want to go in for a half buy. They feel confident as well that they have the lead, and they still are in the lead and can't afford to lose another round. Instant headshot from DX here. Can he pick up a second? No, it looks like he cannot. He will get shut down by Wind on the Marshall. Miracle with another util kill, and he picks up yet another follow-up kill. He is looking in form, folks. He could be the guy who will save SL Esports today. He's going to hold on to the side, a sneaky position, because that ball It's going to stop the defenders from coming in for the diffuse. Wind and Artkan are both coming together, putting out those mollies to deny some part of this map, but he still has enough area to go for that peak. Artkan will get a kill on Soul Dragger, and Wind will get a follow-up kill, and just like that, all of a sudden, we're looking at a 2v2. This wall needs to break and break fast. The defuse has begun. Soba is going to spray through that smoke. And SL Esports, it looked for a second like TFF were doing something special there, but SL Esports is going to stop it. Danesh with that spray down through that smoke, securing the kill on the first diffuser. It was Wind who just was hoping that he can at least get half of the spike diffused. And Artkan on that occasion, I think he felt that he got that kill and turned his crosshair away. But sometimes those Spectre sprays can just disappoint you. And that is what has happened. And SL Esports have picked up a 9th round. The scoreline is now looking at 10-9. Full buys around, however, the eco round has allowed both teams to come in with full buys. And take a look at this ultimate coming in from Soul Dragger all the way to Snowman. Will pick up the first kill on Wind. Throws in the paranoia for his team to enter, which will help Miracle to get a pick as well, who makes his way through yellow. And Soul Dragger will pick up yet another kill as RG goes down this time. And Miracle will pick off a like as well. It's down to just Minato. And he's gonna get taken down, folks. Dare I say the comeback is complete. Dare I say that the comeback is on. Team SL Esports, they have definitely made me eat my words. I thought it was a bad idea to go in for that eco at 9-4. But take a look at the score now, folks. 10-4. That's how confident they are in their abilities to use those Vandals and Phantoms. And the scoreline is tied at 1-1. And this match is tied at 10-10. Which team is going to come out on top? We're just going to have to wait and watch to find out. Full buys all around, but TFF Artkan is going to have to go in with just a Spectre this time around, it looks like.
Revealing area.
After showing some presence here, they are looking like they want to change course, but TFF alike just coming in from B main and getting that sneaky kill on Soul Dragger, but he will get revived nonetheless by Zach, who reinstates the equation to a 4v5. DX nearly getting taken down here, but will dash out of sight, but he needs to deal with TFF alike, who is coming from behind him, and TFF here showing us some class in the way they're dealing with the situation. It's going to be an encounter in kitchen very, very shortly. Reina is on her Empress, will get that first kill and dismiss out of trouble. It is down to just Danesh, who cannot do it, and Team TFF have pulled things back here. Their Team SL Esports were really looking like they were running away with it, but TFF were not going to allow that. A good round from them, alike on the Killjoy, getting that useful kill in mid, although it did get nullified. It was RG and Artgun in the end who just pushed through, and Wind getting that last kill, the last 2 kills as a matter of fact, and securing the round for Team TFF, who are now in the lead 11-10, and that has helped their economy. They were struggling for a few rounds, and now it looks like both teams have fairly healthy economies, and the rest of this match is going to come down to pure skill, folks. Pure skill. It's about who wants it more. Artgun here getting a good kill on Miracle, and that could be a big one. Miracle has been so influential in the comeback here for SL Esports. But that peak on A belt is always a risky one. Jet here is boosted up on top of tunnel. All players are just holding different sides and angles just to check if TFF were in the mood to push. But I think they're playing this one really safe, especially after securing that kill. DX will get a pick on Wind here. That is going to be very, very helpful to bring things back to a 4v4. But he's got Minato to face in just a second or two. And what a flick. Minato was not looking at DX. He was looking down at B Orange. But the flick to DX's head was almost instantaneous. The
planted.
spike here going down and RG getting spotted out in a bad position. Could possibly get wall banged here, but somehow survives that. SL Esports. They're looking at a 3v4, a 4v3 retake here. Soul Dragger here is just hiding in that smoke. Who will get taken down by RG, who will dismiss out of trouble. It is down to just the last player. It is Zach who will get taken down, and TFF is gonna post a 12th round on the board, folks. Soul Dragger here trying to do a sneaky play, and I think that was a good move as well, but just unfortunate that swarm grenade pushing him out of position, and that gave RG just enough information to take him down. Zach in the end managed to get the trade on RG, but TFF was alive to the danger that RG posed at B long. Zach posed, my apologies, at B long. We are looking at match point. Team TFF. It is their moment. Can they seize it? Can they take this one home? Let's take a look at the buys here. Team SL Esports, interestingly, have gone in for the operator as Artgun pulls out the ultimate almost immediately. No operator on the side of the defenders, and there is an operator in play on the side of the attackers, and that is definitely interesting. I feel like SL Esports have decided that it's time to like give it their everything, and they've gone ahead with this investment. It could backfire on them if they lose this operator, but of course this is the last round, so they need to give this everything they've got. So as of now, Omen looks like he is holding out outside of A site, and that is Soul Dragger. And meanwhile, DX, who is on the jet, has started to walk into sight, hoping that the Killjoy equipment won't let him off, but looks like he will get spotted out by the alarm bot, the turret as well. And I think Minato has just TP'd to Snowman, and that is a useful shock dart doing some damage to Minato, and he will get the trade on DX. So the first pick coming in, a second pick as well on TFF from TFF, as it looks like the person lurking on A site has been taken down. More kills exchanges down to just Dhanesh and Miracle. They are both at A, and the spike has gone down. This has to be the end here for Team SL Esports. This has been an impressive performance from TFF. It looks like they have taken Icebox home with them. And there you have it, folks. What a match we have just witnessed. This one went down to the wire. It really did. And let's take a look at that scoreboard. Team TFF stood strong in the end. SL Esports were really trying to push their limits. They were trying to be aggressive, showing that intent. Went with the operator on the last round with Miracle, but in the end it was Team TFF who comes out on top. Alike is going to take the match MVP home with him with a total kill count of 19 kills and 13 deaths. Miracle, what a performance. Can we take a minute to talk about this man? The class that we saw in Split from him, the way he pushed a couple of rounds on Icebox, making those bold decisions and going for that operator as well, unfortunately for him didn't pay off. But what a performance from him. It has to be called out, and it's a little bit sad that he's not the match MVP. Not to take anything away from Alike, who was so vigilant all the times and holding those sights down. Miracle here with 5 first bloods, and Soul Dragger with 4 first bloods, and that is the story in itself for you guys, winning those first gunfights. But despite that, Team TFF coming out on top. 13-10 is the scoreline, and Team TFF will come out with a match scoreline of 2-1. They are the ones who are going to progress to the semi-finals. Congratulations to you, Team TFF, and well played to Team SL Esports. Folks, that brings an end to our match number 1, and we're going to head into match number 2 very shortly. It's going to start at 10 p.m. But before I go, I just want to ask you guys to make sure that you drop a like on this video if you enjoyed this stream, and if you enjoy watching esports tournaments, then please be sure to drop a subscribe as well. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, join our Discord, and we will be in touch with you for future tournaments. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed that match. I certainly did, and I'm excited for the next game, which is going to be X Gravity Esports versus Pistol Esports. It's going to be lit, guys. So be there, and I will see you guys in the next one.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.